So I am currently standing in the main area of 19 on Green, and this is where a lot of our exhibitors will be holding their stalls. So I just want to show you around quickly. So as you can see behind me, we have a beautiful, fully functioning kitchen. And where is it? There it is, all big fancy fridge there. Let me just turn the camera around and show you this absolutely gorgeous area. So as I said, this is where we will be having a lot of our exhibitors showcase their goods and their services, and then we can even come out the door here. Here we go, and we have also this gorgeous outdoor area where people will be able to hang out, they'll be able to enjoy their cuppas. Depending on how many exhibitors we have, we can overflow and put some of them out here as well. So very, very exciting. Absolutely a picturesque spot here at 19 on Green. This room is called the Gasworks, and as we walk in here, this is a beautiful smaller room, and what we're going to do in here is this is where we are going to have our wardrobe giveaway. We've got some incredible clothing that we are going to offer our survivors. You'll be able to pick out an outfit so that if you are in need of an outfit for, say, a court date or a job interview or something, this is going to all have the clothing displayed in this room. This here is the industry room. Now in this room, we will most likely be putting our beautiful service providers who are doing things such as maybe haircuts and hairdos and makeup and things like that. It's a bit of a bigger room. It's, as you can see, fully functioning. It's just, we've got the screen on there. I don't know if we're going to use it or not. Beautiful big room. This room is the brickyard. Now as we walk in here, this is another quite a large space, and what we're going to do with this room is we are going to hold our services which maybe require a little bit of more a quiet space. So maybe the massages and the Reiki. So it's just a beautiful, it's a simple little room. It's got the air conditioner there, beautiful.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hi, Rose.
Hello. Good afternoon. What's going on here? There we go.
Hello. There's you and me, and Ali would make three, but Ali's not here today. She is very busy out there changing the world.
Yes.
Welcome to this is so true. Welcome to the Healing Through Love show. We're here to increase awareness within the community about providing family and domestic violence survivors with a soft place to land, and to offer advice on services available to these survivors and their families.
Yes, and as well as the Healing Through Love show, we hold an annual Pamper Day, and these are for survivors in South Australia and soon to be in Tasmania, where local businesses pay it forward to give our survivors a much deserved day of joy. And each week on this show, we interview experts and survivors who share their personal stories and advice It's to those who have been and have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. And just a reminder that this year's Pamper Day is on the 22nd of May at 19 on Green in Brompton, and starts at 11 a.m. and will finish at 4 p.m. And if you need details for that, please go to our Facebook page, or you can you can email us at htladelaide@gmail.com.
I love it. Thank you, Rose. Now, Rose is going to slide off the screen because she's going to be doing all the back of house things. It takes so many of us to run this show. It's amazing. There might be only one of me standing here, but everyone is working behind the scenes to make this a reality. Today, we've got a very special guest, someone I know personally, and we were just talking before the show in the green room. The last time we saw each other was just weeks before COVID, when we were sharing an experience in the Gold Coast. Yeah, very exciting. So Donna-Leigh Perfect is our international speaker, published author, will take us on an emotional roller coaster of a ride from perfectly bullied to perfectly at peace. 2018 International Women's Day Leadership Ambassador in social justice and equality, and finalist of the 2020 IWDF Ambassador Awards in Community Service, transcending from a life of extreme ongoing childhood trauma, where she lived in 13 different foster homes and attended some number of schools. And now she actually works with the Peace and Gratitude program, which is her own baby. And Donna-Leigh spent most of her teenage years living in fear with a psychopath, I think you said, and an alcoholic murderer. So I really would love to know more about that story. NLP practitioner, timeline therapist, a lifeline suicide prevention counsellor, and qualified personal trainer, an expert on resilience. Donna-Leigh is passionate about curbing domestic violence in our community, recognising that each life lesson learned on her journey has been a precious gift. She's now here to share that gift with us today. Donna-Leigh, hello and welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just such an honour to be on your show, and what you're doing for the community is phenomenal. I love this idea of this Pamper Day and businesses paying it forward, because I really believe that's what it's all about. You know, we have so much available in the community, so many resources that if we all come together and support each other, then, you know, we can certainly not just survive, but thrive.
So true, Donna-Leigh. And the interesting story is that many of the women that work inside of our organisation are all survivors themselves. So some of them have even been to one of our previous Pamper Days and then got their big girl britches on, and from there have actually moved forward and now come back to serve the community. It is beautiful to see such development in a short space of time. And we've been running these programs for now, this will be our 3rd year. And yeah, we're actually 4th, because sort of COVID was a bit of a no-show. But what we did in that space is we collected goodies and gave them to the community. So we still was a service, but just in a different way, because we were delivering those goodies directly to the girls in the front line. Donna, your story is amazing, and I was wondering if you could maybe share a little bit about your story, give the girls, you know, an opportunity to lean in. And it is how we show that connectedness, by being really vulnerable about our wounds.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, well, you know, my story really started in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm a twin and the youngest of 5 siblings. And, you know, for me at the age of 7 or prior to 7, life seemed to be pretty normal. You know, very busy, 5 kids, that kind of thing. But, you know, a pretty normal kind of life for a child of that perspective. And I remember one morning in winter in 1973 waking to the piercing screams of my mum. I was in bed. It was very early in the morning, and I jumped out of bed to go out into the corridor to see what was happening. And I saw my mother, you know, running past me, screaming, as my father was chasing her down the staircase with a knife. And this was incredibly, you know, traumatic. It, you know, I can't even, you know, now going back all those years and thinking about that, I get goosebumps over my body. it's a moment in time that almost stands still. And my mum reached for the handle of the door downstairs, and my father drove the knife deep into her back. All of my siblings were at the base of the stairs too, so we all witnessed this. And my mum stumbled along the side path to the front of the house and collapsed to the ground. So I just remember sort of being in complete trauma and just screaming and not really understanding or comprehending what was going on. But I remember sort of all these people surrounding me and sirens and my mother taking her last breath. So, this was the start of a nightmare that continued. I recall seeing my father drive off in the back of a police car, and within seconds we were all swept up and taken to my cousin's house down the road. And it was a real surreal moment, actually, Charlene, because I remember sitting on the couch and hearing on the radio that a woman in Auckland had been murdered, and it was my mum. And I just remember sitting there going, oh my God, this is real. Like this, that's my mum they're talking about. And so unfortunately, because there were so many of us, the family the extended family didn't really step up and decide, hey, we're going to take these children under our wing. And I must admit, just the recent news of the poor woman that was killed in a domestic violence situation and how her sister has stepped up and taken on her 5 kids is just phenomenal. It's just the most compassionate, kind, empathic gift that you could ever give to a family member. And so instead we were separated, and for a short time I was even separated from my twin brother, and we were put into foster homes. And these foster homes were incredibly unstable. There were people that were running these foster homes that were alcoholics, that were abusive, that didn't seem to kind of have any compassion. And a lot of them maybe were driven by monetary, motivation. And so there was a lot of abuse, ongoing abuse. There was emotional abuse, there was physical abuse throughout these 13 foster homes that I attended. And of course, when you're moving from house to house, basically I was living out of a rubbish bag. So we would just be told by the authorities, we're leaving, you're moving to another foster home. And we were never really, there was no explanation as to why we were moving. And, there probably were all kinds of reasons from each time. And so we would just get shifted. And of course that meant that also we would be shifted from school. And so the same number of foster homes I went to was the same number of schools. So you're just creating friendships in schools and feeling like you're part of something, and then you're shifted again and moved. And so that was an incredibly transient time for me, from the age of about 7 to 12 years old. And I was a target for bullies as well, because I guess I looked different. I acted differently. I was traumatized. There was no counseling. There was no emotional support whatsoever. And so, easily a target for bullies. So, that was another part of the abuse was what I was experiencing in school. And at the age of 12, I had the authorities come to our foster home and present to me probably the most difficult decision I had to make in my life. And it's a decision a 12-year-old should never, ever have to make. And that was, I was given the option to stay in foster homes until I was 18, which was another 6 years. Basically accept the abuse that I had been receiving for all those years in foster homes. So either that or return back to my father, who'd been released from prison. But the hardest part of that decision was returning to the home where he murdered my mum. So I really struggled with that decision, as you can imagine. But what really, I guess, sold it for me or motivated me was that I wanted to be back with my siblings, and being connected to them meant everything to me. It was, it was family, it was security, it was stability, it was one place, no matter how traumatic that place was. No, it was somewhere where I could be with my family again. And that was an incredibly unstable, dysfunctional time. So you could imagine, like, returning back to a home where there were just nightmarish memories of that morning, and living with a father that was a psychopath, that was unpredictable, that was an alcoholic. He was pro-Nazi, like just a crazy, crazy kind of character to be living with. And, no counselling, no support, and having to kind of just work through that stuff yourself. And so, yeah, it was an incredibly interesting time from my teenage years. And school was not a priority for me. So I dropped out of school at the age of 16. I didn't even pass my school certificate. And I was just taking deadbeat jobs and on drugs pretty much on a daily basis to numb my pain that I was suffering, while living with this, schizophrenic.
Wow. So, Donna, how did you turn it all around? Like, what was that defining moment for you that took your life in a different direction?
Yeah, well, it was kind of this moment of realization when I was about 18 and a half, that I realized that I was going down a really dark path, and that taking, marijuana on pretty much a daily basis and just being really, out of control. And I thought, look, I've got to reach out. I've got to get help here. I realized that this is not going to end well. And so one night, I just was at my wit's end, basically. And I thought, I'm going to reach out to Lifeline. And I picked up the phone, and I remember speaking to the counsellor, this female, and just starting to share some of my story. And she was just blown away. I remember her saying to me, look, there's a lot of stuff here that I really believe you'll benefit from face-to-face counselling, and I would really encourage you to come in and have some of that and work through your trauma. And that's what I decided to invest in. And so I spent a number of years seeing a counsellor and having hypnotherapy and cognitive behavioural therapy, and I saw a professional psychologist. And that really started this grateful healing process for me, where I actually became a Lifeline telephone counsellor volunteer for 2 years when I moved to Australia from New Zealand. So I had this amazing opportunity. I actually went back to school, and I passed my school certificate, and that enabled me to apply for an adult apprenticeship in clothing and pattern design. And I worked really hard. I did my trade certificate. And at the end of the 3 years, I actually gained the top trade certificate marks in New Zealand, and I won the Golden Shears Award. And it was just phenomenal. I remember being up on the stage with the Deputy Prime Minister receiving my award at the age of 22, and just thinking, this is surreal. Like, if I can achieve this with what I've been through, I can do anything. And it was like a real shift. It was like this moment, defining moment, where I realized, hey, I'm in control of my life, and what I choose to do is, going to define my future. And yeah, so moved to Australia, moved to Sydney, and I was on the crisis line for 2 years in Sydney. It was an amazing experience, taking suicide calls, taking calls, domestic violence, child abuse calls, all kinds of things. So it was an incredibly, rewarding time for me.
Fantastic. Now, tell us how that transitioned from that point in your 20s to where you are now, as a peace ambassador? Like, what happened to create that next level of transformation?
Yes, yeah, that's really interesting. Well, I, had children myself, and there was a real moment I remember when my daughter turned 7, or she passed her 7th birthday. For me, it was like, oh my gosh, she's safe, she's secure, she's okay. Nothing's happened. Nothing's going to happen to her. It was a really profound, time for me. It was, and I didn't even see it coming, but it was just like, oh, I've done the right something here. I've done's right, and I've got goosebumps now. Like it's just an amazing moment for me. And I decided that I wanted to. I'd always been really dedicated to my health and eating healthy and exercising and that kind of thing. And I had this interest in becoming a personal trainer and taking it to another level. So I went and studied to become a qualified trainer with advanced nutrition. And it was during that time I had this passion to help kids curb childhood obesity. And I knew that part of this would also help their mental health, because releasing all these amazing chemicals in your body, endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, that help our mental health just by moving our body. And so I thought, okay, that's really the area I want to work on. And at the time I met my future husband, and he's an entertainer, and he worked in comedy. And he started doing some children's shows, and amazing artist, balloon artist, magic, and incorporating comedy into it. And I said, look, what if I be part of the show and I could do some healthy workouts with the kids, teach them about eating healthy, and do some happy workouts, And so from that, the Dream Guards were born, and it was a phenomenal, interactive, high energy show that we took into schools and community events, just helping kids with health and nutrition and that kind of thing. And then this moment came to me where I thought, you know what? I've got to somehow share my experience and what I've learned from my past. And I remember sharing my story with my husband, and he said, wow, that is the most phenomenal story I've ever heard. This story is going to inspire so many kids to believe in themselves and shift past kind of any suffering or any challenge they may have in their life, and tap into their resilience and believe that they can get past these moments in their life. So you've got to get on the stage and you've got to share your story, babe, And I said, wow, really? I've got to do that? That's a scary place to be, because I'd only shared my story with probably 5 people in my life, And so I wanted to come up with some tangible tools that would help these children just at the, in the moment when they may be going through a really tough time, where they may be getting bullied at school. And I remember going into this meditation with an intention to come up with tools that represented the universal sign for stop. And so I came out of this meditation and my P.E.A.C.E tools were born. And I remember being so excited about them. I was like, oh my God, I've come up with these amazing tools, and they're peace. And it's just such a beautiful message, about inner peace, about, community peace, world peace, everything. But it starts from within here, and believing in yourself. And so my P.E.A.C.E tools were born, and these P.E.A.C.E tools have just been, a phenomenal, because it actually became the anchor of our Dream Guard show. So everything was kind of developed around P.E.A.C.E tools. And I did a P.E.A.C.E workout. We had these amazing P.E.A.C.E balloon characters that empowered kids as they were on the stage. And then I even wrote a P.E.A.C.E rap, and we sang that at the end of the show. So it was incredible experience. And of course, then I started sharing that P.E.A.C.E message on stages around the world.
Wow, that's fantastic. Our audience love the stories that we share. It brings us closer together when we can share these, and just, you having that ability to be so vulnerable and share that on this level is absolutely amazing. We also love ways that we can, tools and techniques that we can implement on a daily basis. And I know that you've got so many in your toolbox. Would you be open to sharing some with us today?
Absolutely. Well, I would like to share the P.E.A.C.E tools first because I think they're really significant, and especially with bullying and abuse in your life, I think they're really important. And it's something of just it's on our bodies, right? So it's like we can just check in with them straight away and go, oh, that's right. Just put your hand out, say no, stop. It's not okay to abuse me. It's not okay to abuse others. And stop. It's not okay to bully. So the first letter P stands for protect yourself and be powerful. And if you put your shoulders back and your head held high, it's actually statistically proven that you are less likely to be bullied or abused in your life because you're showing yourself to be confident, as opposed to cowering down and submissive and all that kind of thing. So just that actual posture movement. And imagine a child in a schoolyard walking into the gates and having their shoulders back. That child is less likely to be a target for bullies because they are confident. So that's the first one, protect yourself and be powerful. The next letter is E, and it stands for escape the situation. And, I say always walk away, run away, whatever you need to do to escape a bad situation, a situation where you're not feeling safe. And, online as well, escape, turn your device off and walk away and do a different activity and never allow anyone to abuse you. The A stands for armor, and it's about using your amazing imagination and building a powerful armor around your body so other people's opinions don't matter in your world. So, because your armor is so powerful, it can't get past it. So, it's just creating that protective armor. And, what I say is a lion never loses sleep over the opinions of sheep. So be the lion. The C in P.E.A.C.E stands for creating strong friendships in your community. And it's about having a network, and I love what Sam Cawthorn says about proximity, the 5 top friends in your life. So again, it's that magic 5. And so, have people around you that have got your back, that show you kindness and compassion and empathy and respect, and you do the same in return. So it's building that beautiful network in your community. And the last E is expressing your emotions. So it's about reaching out for the help and support you need if you're being bullied or abused. So we have so many support services in the community. We have DV 1-800 numbers. We've got all sorts of services, Lifeline, and, even for children, Kids Helpline, Headspace, E-Safety Commissioner if you're being bullied online. And these are all amazing support services, by the way, that are on my free app that I provided for the community. So that's another tool that I'd like to share is the Dream Guards free app. And people can download this. And we have beautiful meditations. We have positive mindset videos that, help to, just encourage you to believe in yourself and know that there's resilience within you. It's a matter of just tapping into that and knowing it's always there. And knowing that you can overcome adversity in your life, but not only, I say not only survive, but actually flourish, because these experiences in our life, this adversity, these challenges, actually provide us with amazing gifts. And these gifts are life lessons. So if we can embrace those life lessons and go, you know what, I had to learn that about myself so I could grow. And this is my journey. This is a journey I needed to go on to find self-love, to find self-esteem, to find that self-worth within me that wasn't there before. But I had to do it. I had to go through that tough time to develop that skill. So those are and the other one I'd really share is gratitude. Now, gratitude is a phenomenal tool, and if we can use this on a daily basis, just practicing gratitude and being mindful of all the amazing, beautiful things we have in our life. I mean, even just our breath. But I say during the workouts that I do with my clients now, just when we're doing leg exercises, be grateful for your legs that actually carry you to purpose in life. Wherever you might need to go, they're carrying you there. So don't be complacent, or don't take these things for granted. Be grateful every day for your family, for your friends, for the love you have in your life. And keep gratitude journal and write these things down, because it actually has been statistically proven to improve happiness by 25%. 8%. That's phenomenal. So lots of ways we can do these things to improve our mental health naturally.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. So absolutely growing with gratitude makes all of the difference.
Yes.
And I love your P.E.A.C.E tools. That's fantastic. And they are relevant to adult survivors as well as kids at school with bullying.
Yes.
It is all about protecting ourselves, getting out. And so good. It's so, you said that you had goosebumps. I had goosebumps the entire conversation. It was absolutely beautiful to share with you. And thank you for bringing that level of vulnerability and sharing your amazing tools. And we'll share the URL for your app as well inside the community so people can reach out. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to see your beautiful face. And I'm looking forward to sometime, hopefully soon, seeing you in the flesh. That will be amazing.
Wouldn't
Well, I do. I'm traveling around pretty much state to state all the way through May. So I'm hoping that I get to see you sometime, somewhere in all of that. It'll be great to touch base with you.
I would love to see you, Charlene. Please reach out to me.
And have a cuppa. We can have a cuppa.
Great idea.
I love it. Thank you so much, Donna-Leigh Perfect. And you are perfect. And thank you for bringing such light and love in everything that you say. And, at the end of the journey, you're still smiling. And really, this is just the beginning for you because the best is yet to come. I can see that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Thanks, Donna. Woo! Thanks, Donna. Oh, she was wonderful, wasn't she? It's so fantastic to share this space with Donna-Leigh. Just going to hey, Rose.
Hey, wasn't she brilliant? Oh, my goodness.
We're a bit excited. Isn't Donna-Leigh amazing? I love spending quality time with Donna-Leigh, and I'm all covered in goosebumps. We want to give you a reminder, guys, how excited we are for the upcoming event. We've been having beautiful conversations with some of our participants that are coming along, and the one question that's been asked all week about, 50 times is, can I bring a friend? Yes, we understand that it is really much more comfortable for you to come with somebody. Absolutely. And we also do have a kids zone as well. Not designed to drop the kids for the entire day. It's just there to support you. So if you want to have a treatment like a massage or a chakra aligning or one of those types of treatments, maybe a facial where you're going to be lying down, you won't be able to watch the children, that you do have that opportunity to have that support as well. So we're so looking forward. The numbers are building and we will sell out. Now, I say the word sell out, but we're not actually selling tickets. It's free, but we will book out, guys. So you must make sure that you book early. This will be a book out event. Absolutely. So, Rose, have you got anything to add today for our beautiful Pamper Day?
Yes, actually, I had a phone inquiry before we came on air. One of our participants was asking, could she bring a friend? And I said, yeah, as long as she registered through Eventbrite, which is, what you've said. But she's also going to bring a donation of feminine hygiene products. So if anyone has a donation for and want to pay it forward to other survivors, we'll actually have a bin there for you to be able to leave that donation. Now, it's not compulsory, but I think it's such a great idea to pay it forward to somebody else who may not be as well off as you or, may be a bit challenged, because I know that we do have a lot of domestic violence survivors who are living on the street and can't afford just the basic necessities of their life. So, yeah, I thought that was a terrific gesture. And, I think that's wonderful.
That is just so indicative of the relationship that we have with these beautiful, amazing women who are going through doing it tough themselves, and the first thing they want to do is pay it forward and make a difference to others. Remember, we've also got the shop on the day as well. You'll receive a little bag to go shopping, and everything in the shop is free. It's all designed to pay it forward and make a difference.
Okay.
So it's a pleasure to spend quality time with you guys. We'll see you next week in our next Healing Through Love show at lunchtime. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.